Hey friends, it's Sean from Mind Possible, and I just got to do an experiment I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's measuring my aura before and during telekinesis to see if there's a change in my energy system while I'm doing telekinesis, and it turns out there is. So what I did was drive down to Colorado Springs, about an hour south of Denver, and I visited the Celebration Metaphysical Center there in Colorado Springs, a wonderful place to visit, where they also do aura photography. So they were gracious enough to let me do my experiment there. I brought in my glass jar and my object for telekinesis, in this case the little piece of tinfoil. And what we did was we took a photo of my aura before doing any telekinesis, and then about 6 minutes later took my photo while I was doing telekinesis. So during about the 5-minute period before the second photo, I was just working on my object, and at the same time doing what I do internally to be able to produce a telekinetic effect. And I can feel it because of all my practice. There's a shift in how I feel inside my body when I become more and more able to move the object. So as you see here, I had the object on the table, and there's a place around the left to rest your left hand. It takes measurements from your hand, and she also took a photo of me that did some sort of analysis. I don't know how aura photography works. I just am using it for a before and after photo. So let's look at the reports that came out of it. There's a lot of information, but basically if you look here at the headshots, the before photo, it looks pretty balanced, but I'm really covered in green-yellow, and they say that the qualities there are communicative, social, balanced, creative, and logical. And it's interesting, the communicative and social part, because I just walked into the store and spent about 20 minutes talking to different staff members and the manager at the store. So I was very communicative there in the beginning. And then you see that while I'm doing telekinesis, in my headshot you can see I'm looking down because I'm actually doing the telekinesis while they're taking my measurements. It goes to more orange, and it's hard to see, but right over my face and over my right shoulder there and left shoulder, you can see it's orange. It says adventurous, analytical, scientific, and self-confidence. And it's interesting because in a way I'm doing a paranormal experiment, a sort of scientific experiment, and that's what these colors reflect. Analytical and adventurous, because for me this is a lot of fun and kind of an adventure in itself. So if we look at the next photo, then we go into the chakra imagery, and somehow it scans how each of your chakras are doing. And if we see here, if we start at my root chakra, we see it's very small there and splotchy. Then the next chakra up is bright, and then the solar plexus is nice and bright, and then the throat is good. Then the head and above, they get smaller and smaller. And then if we look at the next image, the after image, while I'm doing telekinesis, my root chakra seems to be a lot brighter and bigger. And also, if you look at the throat chakra and the head chakra, they're more even and also bigger. So there was that shift there in that 6-minute period. Then if we look at this aura size graph, this series of circles, beforehand I was about average aura size. It's a 60, and that means I have a strong presence in radiant energy and achieve my goals by increasing my aura even more and focusing on my goals. That's what the guide there says. But after or during telekinesis, it shrank. It says it went down to a small aura. It measures about 40, and that says it indicates a low energy level. Others might perceive you as introverted or with low physical energy. Try to create a strong radiance around you and increase your aura power. But this makes sense for me because instead of talking to people and looking outward, I was really bringing my energy very specifically right in front of me to do the telekinesis. So in a way, this also reflects the telekinetic effect happening. Then if we go here to the overall aura chakra balance, it says before doing telekinesis, average balance. So your aura and chakras are not fully balanced. It would have to be measured up to 100 to be very balanced. And then during the telekinesis, it actually goes down to about a 40. And it says very unbalanced. Aura and chakras are stressed with low energy. Improve your aura and chakras conditions. More harmony needed. And that's interesting because in the process of telekinesis, you are creating a disharmonious effect we're imbalanced because we're sending our energy outward to a very small area, to a specific object, which is an indicator of imbalance. And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, it just means our energy is shifting in a specific way from a balanced, normal state to imbalance because something's happening here. And then they take a measurement, they call it the color wheel yin-yang, and as we see here, there's two black lines on the color wheel, and they say that it indicates an imbalance. Unbalanced, disharmonious. The one on the left is female, the one on the right, male energies need balancing. You see those two black lines there. And then during telekinesis, it looks like there's a single line, but it really means that two lines are overlapping each other, and that indicates that there is yin-yang balance with the needles close together. So the male-female energies seem to be in harmony. So that's interesting. Is there something about bringing the male and female energies together to help the flow of those energies outward during telekinesis? Something to think about. And then finally, they have this graph here on the chart where they see how much of your energy is going to mind, body, and spirit. And it looks here beforehand that about half my energy is concentrated on creativity, mental and emotional expression, and communication. Again, the communication piece, because I was just talking to the staff. But then during telekinesis, the mind part you see on this graph, it shrunk, and the body part increased, which is interesting. Body has to do with focus on physical reality and results and body-related activities. And as I suspect, telekinesis does come from some of the body energy, and it has to do with relating to your physical body and your energetic body. So it's interesting that the body part increased while the mind part decreased to make room for it during the telekinesis. There's a lot more data in the information that they gave me, but I don't want to bore you. So it's just an interesting experiment. I'm sure there are many other methods to measure the subtle body energy of a human being, and maybe I'll figure out some other ways and make some more videos. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and by the way, I have a new course on my video site, mindpossiblecourses.com. It has to do with meditation, and I think you'd really enjoy taking a peek. If you do the free trial, you get access to a lot of the videos and one of the meditations themselves. So check it out. All right, thanks.